Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a fun layout that I made for a Paper Issues challenge. So you're going to see these 3 photos and those are actually not the photos I am going to be using for this layout. I started to make this layout on Saturday for my Sunday post for Spiegel Mom Scraps and I just didn't like it. I like the way it turned out, but not for these photos. And I really wanted to use these photos for the Spiegel Mom Scraps layout. Also, I started using these watercolors and I wasn't supposed to for my Spiegel Mom Scraps layout. Well, I mean, I could definitely, but I wanted to use my, my Shimmers Paints mists. And so I was like, oh dang, I totally forgot to grab my paints and I grabbed my watercolors instead. So here you can see this is where I realized, oh wait, I wasn't supposed to use the blue for this. I did want to use the watercolors, but I wanted to draw in some pink just because I thought it would be kind of fun to throw in some pink. I really like pink, but it's hard to use it with boys. So I thought just doing like a fun watercolor background would be cool to do for these photos, but it just doesn't turn out. But the funny thing is that Easter was the next day, and once the background is done, it totally looks perfect for Easter photos. So I am super excited that I was able to use this background almost immediately after making it. Pretty soon after making it. So here you can see I'm just dipping my brush into these Shimmers Paints mists and I'm just kind of making these big, I don't know, paint areas. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of painting away. I was trying to make interesting shapes like that one on the far right, that blue one that looks like a finger that's pointing. I don't know. That's kind of funny. I just noticed that. And I am don't know, just playing around, having fun. So I wanted to use a bunch of blue colors, but I only have like 2 blue colors and they're pretty much almost the same thing. So I think here I don't know what I was doing there. I thought I was going to grab some more mists, but I'm not. So yeah, so I'm deciding to use this, I think that's Snow Way Man, and it's pretty close to the color of blue that I was using from my watercolors. So I kind of sop it up and then, I don't know why I dried it up, but I think it probably just dried up too much. So what I'm doing to add water is just putting water on my brush and then adding it to the page if I don't want the color to be so dark. So now here I'm going to add some of this. It's like a teal turquoise color. It's called Well Bloom Me Down. And I really love that color. It's a fun color. And I'm putting it up there. So I'm just going to keep working at this. It took me a long time to do this. I think it was like 45 minutes to make this background just because I don't know, just taking forever. And a 12 by 12 surface really is kind of a big surface. But it works out in the end and I really love it. I love it for the photos that I decide to use. So you can see there, that one, I don't remember what that blue color was called. I think it's Heidi Ho Blue, but it was a little bit darker, which was nice because I did want a darker blue on there as well. And then I'm also using this green, and that one's called Oh Say Can You See? And this is where I was thinking, okay, I need to start adding some more colors in besides just blues and yellows, and so that's why I added the green, and then I'm gonna also add in some pink, and I love it. My husband walked in when I had finished and he was like, oh my gosh, Megan, that looks like a Peeps explosion. And I was like, aha, that's so funny, it does. And he was like, you need to make a layout and call that Peeps explosion. And I was like, okay, I will, and then I didn't. Because we don't buy Peeps. We do not like Peeps. We are not Peeps people. I think they're disgusting. But So I was like, it wouldn't really make sense. So I made it work. I did something different, but so I think when my husband sees the layout, he's going to be disappointed that I didn't call it Peeps Explosion. Okay, still kind of going back and forth between the blues and the yellow and the greens. And then now I'm going to add this pink. And I think this pink is probably my favorite part of the layout. I absolutely love how it turned out with the pink. Because at first I was thinking, well, maybe I won't do the pink because it doesn't really go with the photos. But then I was like, no, I need some pink on here. So I started adding it. And I'm just kind of going crazy with this. Like I was saying, I was inspired by an art journaling page by Katie Miranda, and I will leave a link below in the description so that you can find her video. I thought it was super cute. I think she made it for the Crafty Maven Getaway for an Art Party Friday post, and I think hers turned out so amazing. So I'm thinking that if I had done it on like an 8.5 by 11 page, then it probably would have turned out a little bit better, because using this bigger surface, you're going to use up a lot more paint, and I think that's what was so daunting, is that it was on a lot bigger surface than what Katie used, and so it didn't turn out as amazing as I had wished it would have, but I really do love it in the end. So yeah, I'm just slowly adding colors. Almost done now. And I am using a diaper wipe to kind of sop up, I don't know, pick up some of the paints. Like if it's too dark or if there's too much water or anything like that, then I am using a diaper wipe to kind of help. And then there was like this puddle on that one green area, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look good. And so I, soaked it up, and then it didn't look good after that either. So I had to add some more paint to that. It still looks kind of funky, but oh well, it works out in the end. Okay, so this, I think it's Heidi Ho Blue is what it is. That one it doesn't mix very well for me. I don't know. Like I ordered it from Jody in the winter, and I think because it was so cold, like it just didn't, I don't know. I don't know how the Shimmers paints work, but I think you're not supposed to get them cold, and I think they probably got way too cold when they were being sent to me, and so it doesn't mix very well when I shake it up. Shake it up. I want the world to know. That's not that song, is it? I don't know. Sorry. Okay, I think I'm almost done here. Just adding a little bit more yellow. Make sure that you head on over to the Facebook group for Paper Issues. They are doing a fun, they do challenges all the time, and they just had their design team call, and and I totally applied. Who knows if I'll get it, but I'm kind of excited. I love Paper Issues, but I have a hard time being on Facebook. Like I have a Crafty Facebook account so that I can kind of keep Crafty life and personal life separate, just because it's easier that way. But I don't know, like it's so hard. I'm in like 20 to 30 Facebook groups, like scrappy Facebook groups, no lie. Like seriously, I am in so many groups, and it's so hard to go to all of them, and it's like one day I spend a lot of time in one of them, and then another day I spend a lot of time in another one. It's not like I just don't have all the time in the world to go and spend in every single group that I'm in. And I feel bad, but I'm just not good at social media. I mean, I can do Instagram, because Instagram's easy. You just go and you look at the people, I can't talk. You go, look at the people's pictures, and you like them, and, you can scroll on, but it's like Facebook, there's just never ending scrolling, and I get lost on Facebook all the time, so I've been trying to be better about not being on Facebook all the time, but it's hard, and I get lost in Facebook so much. Okay, so I think I'm done here. So I'm going to start cleaning everything up, and then I will come back in a couple days later, because I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to come back and it will be a different day and different photos. See, there you can see I went thumbs down because I was like, this background is not going to work for for these photos. Okay, now I'm back, and like I said, it's a couple days later. So here I've pulled out a few embellishment packs that have been in my stash forever, and I've also printed off 2 of my Easter photos. So this is the night of Easter night, and I am going to scrapbook this one photo of my kids searching for eggs in the backyard. We did a little egg hunt, and I thought this photo of them looking for eggs was just cute. I'm going to have the title be Eggcellent Adventure, and I decided on this title before I started scrapbooking, and so I didn't want to forget it, and I decided to pull out my alphas right away and use these. I didn't have an extra E though, so I'm using a C and trying to use all of my markers and things to make it into an E, but I have like the suckiest white pens and markers, so they weren't working and it looked awful. And then I remembered, oh wait, I actually have a second set of these alphas. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking through my alphas, which I have down in my drawer to the right of me. And so I'm looking through those and looking and looking, and I couldn't find them. And I was like, I swear I had a second set, and I couldn't find them. And so I'm like, well, dang it. And then I was like, no, I know that I have a second set, so I'm still looking for them. But doesn't this photo just go perfectly with this background? I just love it. I think it's awesome. So I am super excited that I was able to use this background so quickly. Because usually, oh, I did find an E, so you can see I got that second alpha, so I was so excited. Usually if I do a mixed media layout and then I decide, oh, I don't like it for the one that I had in mind and I set it aside, I rarely ever use those backgrounds. I just end up throwing them out, or just they sit in my stash forever. So I was so excited to use this. Okay, so here I am going through my scrap bin because I wanted to use up a bunch of scraps. And so here I'm thinking I'm going to use that, what collection is this from? This is I think it's Pink Fresh Studios collection. And I think it's at least a year old. It's pretty old. I think I got it in a Citrus Twist kit, maybe last year, maybe. So maybe it's not that old. But anyway, here I'm just pulling out a bunch of papers that I thought maybe I could use. And I decided to mat the photo on some vellum because I just thought that was kind of a fun look. And then here I'm just trying to decide what papers I want to put behind it. So we are scrap lifting Cassie Box for this Paper Issues little challenge, and I am going to stick closely to her layout, but then also kind of make it my own. So here I'm going to cut up this paper, and that is one of my favorite papers from the Crate Paper Heart Day collection. And then I'm also going to mat the photo behind this bird paper that is pink. And then I also got the idea that maybe I could do some banners. And I cut it into an arrow on accident. Like, sometimes the way that I think, I'm just like, how did I do that? I don't know. So I had to redo it, and I really like how this is looking so far. But I do want to get a couple more layers behind that pink bird paper. So I pull out this yellow thinking that would look good, but it's just too dark against that bright yellow background, or the yellow watercolors. I didn't really like those two colors together. So I'm off in my scrap bin searching for the perfect yellow, and actually I don't find a scrap. I do find this, I think this is from the Stitched collection, that gray, it was triangles. And so I'm going to put that back there, but I'm going to start gluing these pieces down because I just want to get things solidified. So I'm just gluing each one of these layers, and I am just loving this so far. It's so fun. I love getting inspiration from other people. It's so exciting. So if you want to, you can come on over to the Paper Issues group. I will leave a link below so that you can come find it. They also have a blog where they post all their challenges and everything, and it's fun. Okay, so I pulled out this yellow striped paper from the, I think this was Fancy Free collection from Pink Paisley, and I liked it, but it was still a little too dark. So now I'm going through, and these are a recent purchase at a local craft store where I just went and bought some old papers mixed with some new papers, and I found this gingham yellow, and it was the perfect color. Absolutely perfect. So I was so excited. Now I'm going to cut it down to go behind that what, the pink paper? Well, I guess the gray paper was behind there. Okay, so now I'm going to glue that down to the rest of the layout, or the layering, whatever. And then I was so sad that I had cut this paper because I decided I wanted it to be a bigger piece. So what I did was I just kind of glued it back together. And you know what? I was kicking myself because this is one of my favorite papers from this collection, and I don't have any more of it. I have used it all up, and I bought like 2 or 3 pieces. So I'm kind of bummed, and I totally, instead of gluing the whole thing down, I totally could have just glued a top piece and a bottom piece, but I glued that sucker down. So I was kind of bummed when I got done with all the gluing and everything, and I was like, dang it, I totally could have saved the middle piece. But oh well, it's all good. We want to use up our papers, right? It's just sad when you use up papers and you don't really see very much of it. Here, I wanted the papers to stand out, but I didn't want to do any inking, which is what I normally do, because the layers were already glued down, and I knew it would be hard to kind of get to all of them because there are a ton of layers here. So I decided to just do some outlining. Sorry, I forgot what this was called. And it's going to take a little bit, but I really, really, really love how this turned out. So you can see that I've kind of got layering going across the layout and then also top to bottom on the layout, which is a little bit different than Cassie's layout, and her layout is gorgeous. I absolutely love her layout, but you know me, I have to put my own little twist on my layouts, and that's what I love about scrap lifting is you don't have to stick super close to the layout. You can make it your own, and that's my favorite part of scrap lifting. So now here I'm going to glue all of this together, and then I'm going to glue it down on the background, and I am just absolutely loving this. So I am almost done. I'm going to get a few embellishments down. I've pulled these out from my stash, and these are pretty old. I think these feathers and that star are a Teresa Collins collection. I'm not sure where they came or what collection they came from. And then I also have that little wood veneer that says, I think it says recorded. Sorry, I can't see it very well. Now I'm going to start putting down the title, and yeah, I'm just having tons of fun. I'm so happy with this layout. Isn't it so fun when you put together a layout or you start a background or something and it doesn't work out with, you know, the first photos that you're going to try to use with it, but then the second time you try using it, it's like, yes, like angels singing, ah. Okay, so I have my title down, And now I'm going to glue down all of these wood veneer pieces. And at first I'm going to try gluing this little wood veneer tag down with some of that. Oh gosh, I don't even know what it's called. It's like it's close to my Heart brand, but it's like I don't know, like if you let it dry, it'll be sticky forever, so you can like re-stick it down. But if you put it down immediately, then it stays forever. I don't know if that makes sense. But I ended up just deciding to use this Tombow Aqua Glue because it was a little bit better for the surface. And then I'm going to glue that word joy down. I really wanted to use this cute little feather, but it's not going to work. So instead, I'm going to glue down this star wood veneer. And I am also going to use some of these buttons from the My Girl collection. I believe that's a My Mind's Eye collection. It's kind of old. I think it's a few years old. But I'm going to use buttons and then little wood veneer, or not wood veneer, they're chipboard circles. I also have some wood veneer stars in my stash, so I'm going to pull one of those out and bring that star down there in that bottom cluster. And then I'm going to back that recorded little wood veneer with white just scrap paper because I wanted to put the date in there, but I knew if I had it on all those different pattern papers, you wouldn't really be able to see it very well. So I decided to stamp just on a scrap piece of paper and then glue it onto it. And here I'm going to have to stamp it a couple times because it was late at night when I was making this, and I don't know, I kept screwing up the stamp. So here I'm finally going to get it, and I'm going to glue down that wood veneer piece right on top of it. I'm not even going to cut out the paper yet. I'm just going to glue it down and make sure that it's glued down pretty good so that it won't come off. And I am down to the last little leg of this aqua glue. I really need to just go buy some. I keep forgetting to buy it when I'm at Michael's, but I need to go buy some more because I have to like squeeze that bottle like crazy. Okay, and that is the last little part of my layout. I don't really do any journaling because I didn't really feel like it needed a ton of journaling. I am going to have some project life pages that are going to go along with this, which I will probably do some journaling on those. Oh, I forgot. I did add these Prima butterflies, and those are just so pretty. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.